If you are here now, then there is nothing you need to do. No effort required, no memory to hold on to, no facts you'll be tested on later. This is not a lesson. This is a slow unfolding, a quiet journey through our solar system, not to understand it, but to rest inside it. You don't need to picture anything perfectly. You don't need to follow every word. You don't even need to stay awake. Just let the sound move. Let the pauses breathe. Let the space between sentences do most of the work. Because the solar system itself is not loud. It doesn't rush. It doesn't explain itself. It simply moves. Before we drift outward, before planets, orbits, and distant light, let's start exactly where you are, right now. Notice the weight of your body, where it meets the surface beneath you, the way gravity holds you without asking permission. That same gravity, the same force quietly pressing you downward, is part of the same system that keeps planets in their paths. You are already inside the solar system. You always have been. The Earth beneath you is not separate from space. It is moving through it. Right now, as you breathe, the Earth is spinning at over 1,000 kilometers per hour at the equator. You don't feel it. You don't need to. Movement doesn't always announce itself. The planet is turning smoothly, patiently, carrying oceans, forests, cities, and sleeping bodies along with it. At the same time, Earth is traveling around the sun once every year at a speed so fast it feels unreal when put into numbers. And yet, to you, everything feels still. This is the first quiet truth of the solar system. Most motion feels like rest when it is constant. The solar system is not chaos. It is not noise. It is not collision and danger like movies suggest. It is mostly empty space, mostly silence, mostly waiting. Between the sun and the planets, between the planets themselves, there are distances so large that light takes minutes or hours to cross them. If you could remove all sound, all vibration, all radiation, space would feel less like a place and more like an absence. And yet, within that absence, everything moves with precision. The sun does not shout to the planets. It does not pull them violently. It simply exists. Its mass bends space gently enough that planets fall around it instead of away. Orbit is not pursuit. Orbit is surrender. The planets are not chasing the sun. They are continuously missing it. And that missing, that gentle, endless falling, is what creates the calm loops we call orbits. There is something deeply restful about that idea. Nothing forcing, nothing resisting, just motion finding balance. As you lie here, your breathing may already be slowing, not because you tried, but because rhythm invites rhythm. The solar system is full of rhythms like this: days, nights, years, seasons. Even time itself seems to soften when it moves on such large scales. Think of the night sky, not the bright, busy version filled with satellites and screens, but a dark sky, the kind that existed before cities. Under that sky, the solar system does not reveal itself all at once. You don't see orbits. You don't see paths. You see points of light, quiet ones. Some of those points are stars. Some are planets. The difference is subtle, but ancient observers noticed it. Planets did not stay fixed. They wandered. That is why the word planet comes from a word meaning wanderer. Even then, the solar system revealed itself slowly, to those who watched without hurry. Watching without hurry is rare now, but this video is built for that older pace. A pace where nothing demands your attention. A pace where curiosity is soft, where interest doesn't tighten the mind. Here, you are not learning facts, you are being carried. Let's begin with the sun, but not as an object, as a presence. The sun is not a fire in space, not exactly. It is a continuous reaction, a balance between collapse and release. Gravity pulls inward, energy pushes outward. If either side won completely, the sun would either explode or collapse into itself. Instead, it holds. For billions of years, it has held. That steadiness is what makes rest possible. Every orbit, every sunrise, every shadow moving across the ground, all of it depends on something that does not rush. The sun does not hurry its light. Photons leave its surface and take over 8 minutes to reach Earth. Even light, the fastest thing we know, moves patiently here. When sunlight touches your skin, it is already old. Not ancient, but not immediate either. A small delay just enough to remind us that nothing arrives instantly. The solar system teaches patience without words. Planets take years, decades, centuries to complete their paths. Some tilt, some wobble, some drift slightly over time. Nothing snaps, nothing jerks. Even change is gradual. Now imagine, not visually, but conceptually, the vast space between planets. Between Earth and the Moon alone, there is enough room to fit all the other planets with space to spare. This is something people rarely feel. We imagine the solar system as crowded. It isn't. It is mostly quiet distance. Distance that allows stability. Distance that prevents constant interference. Space is not empty to be filled. It is empty so things can exist without touching. As we move deeper into this journey, we will pass planets one by one, not to analyze them, not to list features, but to let their nature slow us. Some are heavy, some are light, some are fast, some barely move at all. Each has its own tempo, and none of them care whether we are watching. That indifference is comforting. The solar system does not need you to understand it in order to hold you. It does not demand attention. It simply continues, and you are allowed to rest within that continuation. For now, stay here, at the edge of movement, at the beginning of the journey. Nothing important will happen suddenly. Nothing will be missed. In the next part of this section, we will begin drifting outward from Earth, slowly, without urgency. But for this moment, let your breathing match the pace of orbit. In and out. The solar system is already carrying you. There is no edge to the solar system, the way we imagine edges. No fence, no final line, no moment where space suddenly becomes something else. Instead, everything fades, distances stretch, influence weakens, motion slows, but never truly stops. This is important to remember as we move outward, because the solar system is not a structure built with intention. It is a consequence, a quiet consequence of gravity, time, and patience. Let's return briefly to Earth, not as home, but as a moving body among others, Earth is not centered, it is not still, it is not privileged. It is simply one participant, spinning, orbiting, tilting. That tilt, just over 23 degrees, is the reason seasons exist at all. Not distance, not speed, just angle. A small lean that changes everything. And yet, Earth does not adjust itself each year. It is not correct. It does not compensate. It keeps leaning, and life adapts. There is something quietly reassuring in that. The universe does not fine-tune itself for comfort. It holds its shape, and living things learn how to live within it. As Earth spins, half of the planet faces the sun, half turns away. Day, night, not as events, but as continuous motion. There is no moment when day ends and night begins, only gradual transition. The solar system prefers gradients, not switches. Now, drift upward, not leaving Earth behind, but expanding your sense of scale. Above the atmosphere, above weather and clouds, above sound, the planet becomes smaller. Not emotionally, just spatially. Continents lose their names, oceans become shapes, storms spiral quietly without thunder. The Earth does not glow dramatically, it reflects. Sunlight touches it, and some of that light returns to space, a faint blue echo. That echo is visible from far away, not because Earth is special, but because water and air scatter light gently. Nothing flashy, just enough. The moon appears next, not as romance, not as symbol, as a companion in motion. The moon does not orbit in a perfect circle. It wobbles slightly. Its distance changes, sometimes closer, sometimes farther, but always present, always returning. Tidal forces stretch Earth's oceans, not violently, patiently. Twice a day, water responds to gravity. Even liquid listens.
The moon is slowly moving away from Earth, about the width of a fingernail each year. You cannot feel this. You do not need to. Time in the solar system is generous. Changes are measured in millions of years. Urgency does not exist here. Now let go of Earth. Not emotionally, just in motion. Allow yourself to drift inward toward the sun, passing the orbit of Mercury. Mercury does not behave like other planets. Its days are longer than its years. Its surface swings between extreme heat and extreme cold. And yet, it stays, locked in a rhythm that looks chaotic, but is actually stable. Mercury spins 3 times for every 2 orbits around the Sun, an unusual balance. Not perfect, but sufficient. The solar system does not optimize, it settles. Closer to the Sun, gravity tightens. Time behaves differently. Relativity is subtle here, but real. Clocks would tick slightly slower, not enough to matter to you, but enough to remind us that even time bends in the presence of mass. Venus appears next, wrapped in cloud, reflective, bright. From Earth, it shines calmly in the sky, but beneath that brightness, conditions are harsh: surface pressure, heat. Venus teaches a quiet lesson. Appearance does not equal invitation. Still, Venus orbits smoothly, predictably. Its thick atmosphere slows its rotation. Its day lasts longer than its year. Another reminder: the solar system tolerates extremes without judgment. Now we approach the Sun itself, Not close, that is impossible for bodies like us, but conceptually. The sun is not a surface you could stand on. It is a region, layers of plasma, energy moving outward. The visible surface, the photosphere, is only a thin boundary. Below it, pressure rises. Above it, energy escapes. The sun is not burning fuel the way fire does. It is converting mass into energy, a slow, steady exchange. Every second, the sun loses mass, not dramatically, quietly, enough to power the solar system. Sunlight flows outward in all directions, not targeted, not aimed. Planets intercept a tiny fraction of it. Most of it travels on, past Neptune, past the Kuiper Belt, past the outer edge of influence, eventually joining the background glow of the universe. Nothing wasted, nothing saved, just movement. And as the light moves outward, so do we, leaving the inner planets behind, crossing the asteroid belt, not a field of collisions, but wide, empty space with scattered remnants, leftovers, fragments that never became a planet. The solar system is not symmetrical, not finished. Some things never form, and that is allowed. Beyond the belt, the gas giants wait. Jupiter, massive, dominant. Its gravity shapes everything nearby, captures moons, deflects debris. Jupiter does not protect Earth intentionally. It simply exists where it does, and that existence alters outcomes. Large bodies create consequences, not purpose. Jupiter's storms last centuries. Its great red spot is older than modern science, a storm larger than Earth, persisting without urgency, motion without haste. Saturn follows, not quieter, but softer in presence. Its rings are temporary, not eternal. They will fade. They are young on cosmic scales. Even beauty here is impermanent, but not rushed. Farther still, Uranus turns on its side. Its seasons last decades. Its sunlight is faint. Neptune marks the visible boundary. Beyond it, objects move slowly, very slowly. And then, the solar system loosens its grip. The sun's influence weakens, not suddenly, gradually. The heliosphere, a bubble of solar wind, thins. Beyond it, interstellar space begins, not with a door, not with a line, just a fading presence. And here, in this fading, the journey pauses, not ends. Pauses, because the point was never to arrive. It was to feel how gently everything holds together, how little effort is required for stability, how motion and rest are not opposites, but partners. In the next section, we will return inward again, not to Earth, but to the quieter truths hidden in planetary time. But for now, let your thoughts drift like outer objects, slow, wide, unattached. Nothing needs your attention, just space and time moving together.
Time inside the solar system does not behave the way it does in human life. Here, nothing rushes, nothing reacts instantly, nothing changes because it must. Change happens because motion never stops. On Earth, time feels sharp. Minutes matter. deadlines exist. Moments feel small and fragile, but the solar system does not experience time in moments. It experiences time in orbits, in repetitions so long they become quiet. A planet does not feel a year, it completes one, and then another, and another, without memory, without anticipation. Time here is not emotional, it is geometric. Let's begin with something simple. Earth's year. One full orbit around the Sun takes approximately 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes. That extra time accumulates. We add a leap day, not because Earth asked for it, but because we wanted our calendars to stay aligned. Already you can see the difference. The solar system does not adjust itself to us. We adjust ourselves to it. Now imagine a year on Mercury. One orbit takes only 88 Earth days, but its rotation is slow. One sunrise to the next takes 176 Earth days. On Mercury, a single day lasts 2 years, not metaphorically, literally. If you stood on its surface, you would watch the sun rise, pause, slowly reverse direction, and then finally set. Not dramatic, just strange. Venus is even quieter. It rotates backward. Its day is longer than its year. Clouds circle the planet faster than the surface turns. Time there would feel heavy, dense, not because anything happens, but because almost nothing does. Mars offers a rhythm closer to Earth. Its day is only slightly longer. Its seasons exist, but they last longer because its orbit is more stretched, elliptical. Mars moves faster near the Sun, slower farther away. Time stretches and compresses naturally, without concern. The gas giants slow everything. Jupiter's year lasts merely 12 Earth years. Saturn's takes almost 30. Uranus needs 84. Neptune requires 165 Earth years to complete a single orbit. A year there is longer than an average human life. Think about that quietly. A single season on Neptune outlasts civilizations. But Neptune does not wait. It does not mark anniversaries. It simply continues. This reveals something important. Time in the solar system is not designed for observers. It exists whether anything watches or not. We only notice it because we are brief. Even the sun measures time differently. It rotates, but not as a solid object. Its equator spins faster than its poles. Different layers rotate at different speeds. There is no single day on the sun, only overlapping cycles. And beneath all of this, there is deeper time, nuclear time. The sun will burn hydrogen for about 10 billion years total. It is nearly halfway through, not exhausted, not rushed, just progressing. Every second, hydrogen becomes helium. Energy moves outward. Pressure balances gravity. That balance will eventually shift, but not soon. Not in any way that matters to now. The solar system exists inside patience. Now let's slow down even further. Consider orbital stability. Why don't planets drift away? Why don't they spiral inward? Why does this arrangement last billions of years? The answer is not perfection, it is balance. Imperfect, but stable enough. Gravity pulls inward. Motion carries outward. Where those forces meet, an orbit forms. Not a frozen path, but a continuous negotiation. Every moment a planet is falling toward the sun, and every moment it misses. That is orbit. Endless falling without impact. Time emerges from repetition, orbit after orbit, year after year. The solar system measures time by returning. Now imagine removing human clocks. No seconds, no minutes, only cycles. Daylight returning, seasons shifting, shadows lengthening. This is how time was first understood, not as numbers, but as patterns. Even now, despite technology, we still feel time through light. Morning, evening, warmth, cold. The solar system does not care how we count, it only offers rhythm. Beyond the planets, time stretches even more. The Kuiper Belt, objects taking hundreds of years to orbit. Then the Oort cloud, where an object may take millions of years to return to the sun. A single orbit longer than recorded history, longer than memory. These distant objects are still part of the solar system, barely held, gently influenced. Time there is almost still. Almost. And beyond even that, time becomes something else entirely. Interstellar space does not orbit the sun. It moves with the galaxy. The solar system itself orbits the Milky Way. One full galactic year takes about 225 million Earth years. The sun has completed about 20 of these. That is all. Every dinosaur lived and vanished within a single galactic year. Human history occupies a fraction of one rotation, a thin whisper of time. And yet we are here, aware, capable of noticing these scales. This is not small, it is rare. Time does not diminish meaning, it reframes it. The solar system does not hurry, it does not panic. It does not resist change, it simply continues. And in doing so, it offers something gentle, perspective. Nothing you are worried about tonight needs to be solved at a planetary speed. Nothing urgent belongs to cosmic time. You are allowed to slow down. The universe already has. In the next section, we will move into something even quieter. Not time, but silence. The kind of silence that exists between worlds. For now, let the idea of long time soften your thoughts. There is no deadline here. Only motion, only return.
Between the planets, there is silence. Not the kind of silence you notice immediately. Not emptiness, not absence. A deeper silence. One that exists even when nothing is wrong. Space is often imagined as loud. Explosions, radiation, energy moving at impossible speeds. But the truth is gentler. Most of the solar system is quiet beyond comprehension. Sound needs a medium. Air, liquid, something to carry vibration. Between worlds, there is almost nothing to carry it. No atmosphere, no wind, no echo. A spacecraft passing through interplanetary space does not hear itself move. It glides in perfect stillness. Imagine standing between Earth and Mars, not metaphorically, actually there. No hum, no background noise, even your own breathing would stop mattering once your suit seals. You would exist inside silence. Not peaceful silence, not dramatic silence, neutral silence. This silence has weight, not because it presses on you, but because it does not react. You could scream forever. Nothing would answer. And yet, this silence is not empty. It is filled with invisible motion. Solar wind flows constantly, a thin stream of charged particles released from the sun. It passes through planets, through magnetic fields, through space itself. You would not hear it, but it is always there. Magnetic fields ripple invisibly. Earth's magnetosphere stretches far into space. Jupiter's is so large it could swallow the sun. These fields collide, compress, reconnect, release energy, all in complete silence. Radiation moves everywhere. Light itself crosses this silence. Photons do not need sound. They do not need permission. They travel anyway. This is important. Silence does not mean inactivity. It means no translation into noise. Between worlds, events happen without witnesses. Asteroids pass quietly. Dust drifts slowly. Comets fall inward without announcement. Entire collisions could occur without a single sound.
Even the sun's fury arrives quietly. Solar flares, coronal mass ejections, immense releases of energy. If you were close enough, they would destroy you, but you would never hear them coming. Silence is the default state of the universe. Noise is the exception. On Earth, silence feels rare, something we seek, something fragile. Here, silence is total, absolute, unbroken. And yet, there is comfort in it. Without sound, nothing demands attention, nothing interrupts, nothing insists. Your thoughts would slow, not because you chose to relax, but because there is nothing to react to. This is why astronauts describe space as calming and unsettling at the same time. There is no background, no constant reminder of existence, only awareness. Between Earth and the Moon, silence dominates. Between planets, it deepens. Beyond Neptune, it becomes almost complete. The further you go, the less interaction there is. Objects are farther apart, influences weaken, time stretches, silence thickens. The Kuiper Belt is quiet. Objects rarely encounter each other. Distances are vast. Movements are slow. Nothing collides often. Nothing rushes. The Oort cloud is quieter still. Trillions of icy bodies barely aware of one another. Orbits taking millions of years. Silence lasting longer than species. And still, everything belongs. The solar system is not a place of chaos. It is a place of restraint, of controlled motion, of long pauses between events. Even impacts, when they happen, are separated by immense spans of nothing. Earth experiences one major asteroid impact every tens of millions of years. Silence dominates history. This is not emptiness, it is spaciousness. Human minds struggle with this. We associate silence with loneliness, with a lack. But in the solar system, silence is stability. Noise usually means friction, heat, resistance. But in space, objects move freely. Nothing rubs, nothing scrapes, nothing slows them unless gravity decides to. A planet does not hear itself orbit. A moon does not hear itself rise. They exist without commentary. There is something healing in imagining that. A reality where nothing narrates, where nothing judges, where nothing interrupts. If you could float there now, between worlds, your thoughts would not echo. They would simply pass, like dust. This is why space imagery calms people, not because it is beautiful, but because it lacks urgency. Silence allows distance. Distance allows perspective. Perspective softens everything. Your problems require sound to feel heavy. They rely on repetition, on reminders, on noise. In silence, they lose their grip. The solar system does not ask you to perform. It does not need response. It does not measure your productivity. It simply exists. And in its silence, it offers permission. Permission to stop narrating. Permission to let thoughts drift. Permission to be unobserved. In the next section, we will move even deeper, not into silence, but into darkness, the kind that is not empty, not frightening, but patient. For now, let the silence settle. You do not need to fill it. It is already complete. Darkness in space is not the same as darkness on Earth. On Earth, darkness usually means absence. The sun has set. The lights are off. Something has stopped. In space, Darkness means distance. Light still exists. It simply hasn't reached you. Between the planets, darkness is not sudden. It fades in layers. As you move farther from the sun, light weakens gradually. It does not switch off, it thins. Near Earth, sunlight is strong, bright enough to flood everything it touches. Shadows are sharp, contrast is high. By the time you reach Mars, the sun is already smaller, still bright, still warm, but less commanding. At Jupiter, sunlight is weaker still. The giant planet reflects more light than it receives. Its moons glow softly. Shadows stretch longer. Beyond Saturn, darkness begins to dominate. Sunlight becomes background illumination, not a spotlight. Uranus receives only a fraction of Earth's light. Neptune even less. The sun becomes just another bright star. And yet, darkness does not mean blindness. Your eyes would adjust. Stars would appear sharper, more numerous. Without atmosphere, nothing scatters light. Nothing softens it. The sky becomes infinite. Not black, but deep, layered. Darkness in space has depth. You are not surrounded by emptiness. You are surrounded by distance. Every dark region hides light that is simply too far away. Every black patch is a delay, not a void. This changes how fear behaves. On Earth, darkness hides immediate danger, predators, obstacles, unknown movement. In space, darkness hides nothing close. There is nothing lurking just beyond sight. Distances are too large. Nothing rushes, nothing jumps. Fear depends on proximity. Space removes proximity. Darkness becomes neutral, almost kind. Astronauts often describe space darkness as calming rather than frightening, because nothing suddenly appears, nothing sneaks, nothing surprises. Even meteoroids arrive quietly, slowly, predictably, tracked long before encounter.
Darkness in space is honest. It shows exactly what is there and nothing else. There are no illusions, no tricks of shadow, no movement created by imagination. Your mind has less to defend against. This is why deep space imagery induces calm. Your brain recognizes the absence of threat, even if it doesn't consciously know why. On Earth, darkness demands vigilance. In space, it invites surrender. There's also a rhythm to it. Planets move in and out of sunlight. Moons pass into shadow. Eclipses happen slowly, gracefully. An eclipse in space is not sudden, no dramatic blackout, just a gradual dimming, a soft transition. Jupiter's moons disappear into shadow for hours, then reappear just as gently. Nothing rushes, nothing shocks. Even total darkness in space is never complete. Starlight remains, reflected light remains, glow from distant galaxies persists. Darkness becomes a background instead of an event. And in that background, time behaves differently. Without sunrise and sunset, your body loses urgency. Without day and night cues, circadian rhythms soften. Astronauts aboard the ISS experienced multiple sunrises per day, and yet they sleep. They adapt. The mind is flexible. Given stable conditions, it finds balance. In deep space, darkness is stable, predictable, reliable. This is why the void feels less threatening than a dark forest. The forest hides movement. Space hides distance. Darkness without fear is simply space waiting. Waiting for light to arrive, waiting for motion to matter, waiting without expectation. And here is something subtle, something important. Darkness gives scale. Without light everywhere, you understand how far things are, how separated, how vast. On Earth, darkness compresses space. In space, it expands it. You do not feel trapped, you feel uncontained. And this sensation of being uncontained is deeply relaxing to the nervous system. Your body evolved to detect threats, but when threats are absent, it powers down. Darkness in space tells your body nothing is close, nothing is urgent, nothing needs reaction. This is why your breathing slows when you imagine it, why your shoulders drop, why thoughts lose sharp edges. The solar system holds darkness gently. It does not weaponize it. It does not surprise with it. It allows darkness to exist as a condition, not a warning. Even black holes, the darkest objects we know, are predictable from afar. Their danger is not sudden. Their influence is mathematical. Darkness becomes understandable, and understanding reduces fear. This is the deepest comfort space offers. Not beauty, not mystery, but clarity. Darkness that does not demand alertness, silence that does not require defense, motion that does not rush. If you could float there now, beyond Saturn, beyond Neptune, between stars, you would not feel watched, you would not feel followed, you would feel distant, and distance is calming. Your thoughts would slow, your sense of self would soften, not because you disappear, but because nothing pushes back. In the next section, we will move towards something even quieter. Not darkness, not silence, but time. How it stretches, how it loosens, how the solar system moves through it without hurry. For now, let the darkness remain gentle. It does not need to be filled. It already holds enough.
Time in the solar system does not behave the way it does in your daily life. Here, time presses, it schedules, it interrupts, it divides the day into pieces. Out there, time stretches. Planets do not hurry. They do not aim to arrive. They simply move. Mercury races around the Sun in 88 Earth days. Yet even that speed is not urgency, it is consistency. Venus takes longer than a year to rotate once on its axis. One sunrise lasts longer than an entire Earth year. Imagine that. A morning that lasts months. No rush to begin, no pressure to finish. Mars takes nearly twice as long as Earth to complete a year. Seasons linger. Dust storms rise slowly, settle slowly. Jupiter rotates quickly, but even there, storms last centuries. The Great Red Spot has existed longer than telescopes. Saturn's rings change over millennia. They thin, they spread, they disappear and reform. Nothing in the solar system panics about time. Orbits repeat patiently, ellipses traced again and again. No orbit rushes to complete itself. Even comets, those dramatic visitors, spend thousands of years in deep darkness. One brief appearance near the sun, then silence again. Most of their existence is waiting. Time here is not a countdown, it is a medium. On Earth, time feels sharp. Deadlines, notifications, a sense of falling behind. In space, time feels thick, viscous, like moving through deep water. Events do not stack, they separate. Two planets can be millions of kilometers apart and still influence each other slowly. Gravitational nudges that take decades to matter. A spacecraft launched today may arrive years later, and that is normal, expected. There is no impatience, only trajectory. Even collisions are slow. The future merger of the Milky Way and Andromeda will take billions of years. The approach has already begun, quietly. Time in space teaches something subtle, that urgency is a local illusion. Your body evolved urgency to survive immediate threats, but when the environment is stable, urgency fades. Space is stable. Even chaos unfolds slowly. This is why thinking about space alters your perception of time. Minutes feel longer. Thoughts stretch. Pauses deepen. Your nervous system mirrors what it imagines. When it imagines slowness, it becomes slow. Planets do not multitask. They do one thing. They orbit. Moons do not rush to catch up. They remain locked, facing the same side, keeping the same rhythm. Tidal locking is not constraint. It is agreement. The moon shows Earth one face, not because it must, but because time allowed it to settle. Nothing resists time here. Everything yields to it gently. Even radioactive decay marks time without urgency. Atoms change when they are ready, not before, not after. Stars burn fuel for billions of years. They do not try to conserve. They do not try to accelerate. They shine at their natural pace. When a star ends, it does not hurry toward collapse. It transitions. Supernovae are violent, yes, but even they are brief moments in long lives. Most of a star's existence is quiet. Time in the solar system does not fragment, it flows. This is why space feels ancient, not old, but settled. Ancient things do not rush. They have nothing to prove. Your mind responds to this. When you imagine ancient systems, your thoughts lose sharp edges. They stop racing. There is no reason to hurry when nothing is leaving. Earth's time is fast because life is dense. Space's time is slow because matter is spread. Density creates urgency. Distance dissolves it. When you think of planetary time, your problems shrink, not because they vanish, but because they stop shouting. A worry measured in hours does not survive contact with millennia. This is not dismissal, it is perspective. Your mind does not need to solve anything right now. Nothing in the solar system is waiting for you. Even the sun will rise tomorrow, whether or not you are ready. Time does not need supervision. It does not need your attention. It existed before you noticed it. It will continue after you rest. This realization brings a specific calm, the calm of permission. Permission to pause. Permission to not optimize. Permission to let the moment exist without improving it. Planets do not improve their orbits. They simply maintain them. You are allowed to maintain too. There is also something else, something quieter. Time in space does not judge. There is no late, no early, only position. A planet is never behind schedule. A comet is never late. A star is never overdue. These concepts do not exist outside human systems. When you step into cosmic time, those ideas dissolve. You are not behind. You are simply here. And here is always correct. Your breathing reflects this. It deepens, slows, no longer tries to match a clock. Your body recognizes that nothing external is demanding response. This is why sleep comes easier when thinking about space. Sleep is alignment with non-urgency. Your thoughts begin to drift instead of stack. Time becomes a place rather than a pressure. You are not moving through it. It is moving through you. In the solar system, nothing resists that flow.
Nothing tries to outpace it. This is the lesson space teaches quietly, that hurrying is optional. In the next section, we will move toward the end of this journey, not with conclusions, not with answers, but with stillness, the kind that requires nothing further. For now, let time loosen its grip. You do not need to follow it. It knows where to go.
There is a moment, often unnoticed, when the mind stops trying to arrive somewhere. Not asleep, not awake, just resting inside time. This is that moment. In the solar system, nothing is waiting for a result. No planet is anticipating completion. No moon expects resolution. No star is trying to become something else. They already are. Earth does not orbit to achieve balance. It orbits because balance exists. Mars does not hope to warm. It accepts its distance. Saturn does not protect its rings. They remain because gravity allows them to remain. Nothing is being managed. Nothing is being corrected. The universe is not trying to optimize itself. It is not minimizing waste. It is not maximizing efficiency. Those are human ideas. Space does not require improvement. When you remove the need for improvement, something subtle happens. Pressure fades. Your thoughts no longer lean forward. They stop anticipating the next task. You begin to feel unheld time. This is the same state your body enters just before sleep. The nervous system recognizes when no response is required, no sound to interpret, no signal to decode, no danger to assess. The solar system sends no alerts. Even solar flares do not carry intention. They simply occur. Nothing in space is personal, and because of that, everything becomes gentle. There is no expectation placed upon you, not by planets, not by stars, not by time itself. Your existence does not need justification here. In human environments, stillness is often misunderstood, seen as inactivity, as absence. But in space, stillness is the default state. Motion exists, yes, but it is predictable, cyclical, non-urgent. Stillness and motion are not opposites here. They coexist. A planet moves millions of kilometers while remaining fundamentally still. Stillness is not stopping. It is settled motion. Your breathing mirrors this now. It does not pause. It does not rush. It simply repeats. The body understands cycles instinctively. It prefers them. Your heart beats without consulting you. Your lungs expand without instruction. These systems evolved long before clocks, before schedules, before productivity. They evolved under skies, under stars, under predictable cycles of light and dark. Your biology remembers space. Even if you have never seen a dark sky, your cells are descendants of starlight. Calcium in your bones, iron in your blood, carbon in your cells, all forged in stars that did not hurry. This matters because it means rest is not artificial, it is ancestral.
When your body relaxes, it is not failing to perform. It is returning to origin. Nothing needs to happen for you to be complete. The solar system does not need applause. It does not seek validation. It continues regardless of observation. And yet, here you are, observing, not to control, not to fix, just to be present. This is not passive, it is receptive. In space, reception is everything. Telescopes do not shout, they listen, they wait. They collect photons that have traveled for millions of years, without urgency, without impatience. They do not ask the universe to hurry. They trust that what arrives, arrives when it arrives. Your mind can do the same. Thoughts do not need to be chased away. They will drift on their own. The idea that you must clear your mind is unnecessary. Space does not clear itself. It allows motion to spread until it dissolves. A thought that is not fed loses structure. It stretches, fades. Your worries behave the same way. They persist only when held. When released into vastness, they fin. You do not need to solve tomorrow. Tomorrow will occur regardless. You do not need to finish today. Today will end on its own. Time does not require assistance. This is not giving up. This is letting go of unnecessary grip. The solar system is not tense. Even chaos unfolds calmly here. Asteroids collide rarely, and when they do, the aftermath unfolds over eons. Nothing panics. Even extinction events are followed by renewal. Life adapts slowly, patiently. Urgency is a surface phenomenon. Depth prefers silence. When you imagine floating above the solar system, watching planets trace their paths, you do not feel pressure. You feel pattern. Patterns do not demand action. They invite observation. You are allowed to observe your own thoughts the same way, without intervention. Let them pass. Let them orbit. You are not responsible for controlling them. You are only responsible for noticing that you are safe enough to let go. And you are. Nothing is happening that requires you to stay alert. No sudden change is coming. No interruption is approaching. Even if sound exists around you, it is not a signal. Your body knows the difference. The solar system is the ultimate non-signal environment. No alarms, no notifications, just light traveling quietly. Stars do not flicker to attract attention. They shine because fusion occurs. Planets do not reflect sunlight to be seen. They reflect because surfaces exist. Meaning is added later. Right now, meaning is unnecessary. Existence alone is sufficient. This is why sleep aligns so well with cosmic imagery. Sleep is a state without intention. You do not do sleep, you allow it, just as space allows motion. Nothing needs to happen. And because nothing needs to happen, everything is allowed to settle. Your jaw loosens, your shoulders lower, your breathing slows further. These are not instructions, they are natural responses. Your body recognizes the environment as non-demanding. The universe is not watching, it is not evaluating. You are not late, you are not early. You are exactly where time placed you, and that is enough.
There's a quiet truth the universe never announces. It does not rush toward it. It does not explain it. It simply exists within it. That truth is this: nothing is incomplete. The solar system is not on its way to becoming correct. It is not progressing toward a final version. It is already whole, even as it changes. Change does not imply lack. Movement does not imply urgency. A planet can be unfinished without being wrong. A night can pass without accomplishing anything. This is something human systems rarely teach. We learn to associate stillness with delay, rest with interruption. But the universe has no deadlines. Time moves forward, yes, but it does not push. It unfolds. Unfolding is different from advancing. Advancing implies direction. Unfolding implies allowance. Your body prefers unfolding. Muscles release when they are allowed. Breathing deepens when not controlled. Sleep arrives when effort stops trying to summon it. This is why forcing rest never works. The solar system rests by default. Even the sun, burning constantly, is not strained. Fusion happens because conditions exist, not because energy is demanded. The sun does not try to shine. It shines because pressure and gravity allow it. Your body functions the same way. When conditions are safe, systems shift into restoration. Safety is not silence, it is predictability. The planets offer predictability. They do not surprise each other. They do not change course suddenly. Gravity does not improvise. And your nervous system loves this. It relaxes when it recognizes patterns. Even darkness becomes comforting when it is expected. Night after night, cycle after cycle. Your ancestors slept under skies like this. They did not know orbital mechanics. They did not know nuclear fusion. But their bodies learned the rhythm of stars. Stillness came when light faded. Movement came with dawn. No alarm clocks, no artificial urgency. The body remembers this rhythm even now, even surrounded by modern noise. This is why cosmic imagery quiets the mind. It reintroduces scale. When scale expands, personal urgency contracts. A worry that feels large cannot survive proximity to galaxies. Not because it is unimportant, but because it is not immediate. Sleep requires the absence of immediacy. The solar system has none. No sudden verdicts, no instant consequences. Even catastrophes unfold slowly. Asteroids take millions of years to wander. Solar cycles rise and fall gently. Nothing leaps, nothing lunges. This allows something precious to happen. Your thoughts stop bracing. They no longer expect interruption. You begin to drift, not into unconsciousness, but into unresisted awareness. This is the threshold of sleep. Not a collapse, not a shutdown, a soft widening. The mind loosens its grip on sequence. Past and future blur. There is only sensation, breath, weight, warmth. The solar system does not measure moments. A second means nothing to Saturn. A year means nothing to Neptune. Time is relational. For you, right now, time is slowing because nothing requires tracking. You are not waiting for anything. Even this narration is not asking for attention. It does not require memory. You do not need to retain it. The universe does not test recall. You are free to forget everything being said. Sleep does not punish forgetting. In fact, forgetting is part of entering it. Your thoughts may fragment, images may lose edges. This is correct. The solar system itself is held together by forces you cannot see. You do not see gravity, you feel it. Sleep is similar. You do not see it arrive, you notice when resistance leaves. This is why nothing needs to happen. Trying to reach sleep moves you away from it. Allowing time to pass moves you closer. The universe passes time effortlessly. It does not watch the clock. You do not need to either. Even if awareness remains, rest is already occurring. Cells repair, muscles soften, hormones shift. Sleep is not a switch. It is a gradient. You are already on it. The solar system is indifferent to consciousness, and because of that, it offers the safest mental space. No judgment, no narrative, just motion without meaning. Meaning can wait. Understanding can pause. You do not need to make sense of anything right now. The universe will continue regardless. You can step out of participation for a while. Nothing will fall apart. You are allowed to rest without permission. You are allowed to drift without destination. Even if dreams come, even if they don't, sleep is not an achievement. It is a state the body enters when nothing interferes. And nothing is interfering now. No action is required. No decision is pending.
you are safe enough to stop monitoring. The solar system is still moving, but you do not need to follow it. You can let it carry time for you. Breathing continues, gravity holds, awareness softens, and somewhere between stars and silence, sleep is already unfolding.
If you're still here, you're probably no longer listening. Words may not be reaching you. They're just passing by. And this is exactly as it should be. Because at this point, we are no longer learning information. We are no longer trying to understand things. We are simply attuning to the rhythm of the universe. The solar system is much quieter than we think. Planets do not collide. Stars do not shout. Space does not panic. Everything happens in its own time. Think of a satellite orbiting a planet without ever rushing, without ever stopping. It has been doing the same movement for billions of years. It has no goal, no finish line. It simply orbits. For the human mind, this is a very foreign thing because we're used to doing everything for a result, to arrive somewhere, to become something, to achieve something. But in space, there is no such concept. Mars never feels it has completed its day. Saturn does not find its rings beautiful enough. Earth does not tell itself, I did good work today. They simply exist. And perhaps sleep is the moment when humans come closest to this. When you sleep, you're not achieving anything. You are not arriving anywhere. No one is watching you. You are simply existing. In the solar system, time does not resemble the clocks we use. A day for a planet can be our years. An orbit can last as long as an entire civilization's history. And this slowness is not a flaw. This is the speed the universe has chosen. Now I want you to notice this. Nothing has to be completed. No thought has to be finished. No emotion has to be resolved. Planets do not solve problems. Stars do not make plans. Space does not try to control. And yet, everything is in its place. Right now, you may notice that your breathing is automatic. You are not managing it. It is simply happening. Just like the solar system, everything is moving according to its own inner law. Mars is still cold. Jupiter is still large. Saturn still has its rings. None of it depends on whether you are awake or not. And this creates a strange sense of relief, because the world turns even while you rest. The sun rises even while you sleep. The planets stay in their paths even when you are not thinking. So, you can let go. Let go of thoughts. Let go of questions. Let go of the need to control. Space is not controlled, it is only observed. And observing sometimes is not done with eyes. Sometimes it is done by sleeping. Now imagine you are seeing the solar system from very far away. The planets are like small dots. Their movements are barely noticeable. But all of them are in place. Nothing missing, nothing extra. Just like you. This moment is not a goal, not a result, simply a stop. And stopping is sometimes the deepest thing that can be done. Soon the final words will come, but you don't need to hear them. Just notice your body settling a bit more heavily into the bed. The mind is no longer holding on. The universe continues to carry you, and you can let go now.